penultimate session of Bhagavatamrita. Today we'll be discussing the penultimate chapter, last but one chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 12, chapter 12. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Nama Pankajanabhaya Namaha Pankajamaline Namaha Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesh Tanayas Taddhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Vakalpita Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Pramanamamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatra Dharana Para Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Radhanatha Swami Niti Namine Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namaha Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Katha Dhamadaya Nagar Gram Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we will discuss chapter 12, the topics of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam summarized. In this chapter, Sri Shukadev Goswami, Sri Suta Goswami, he summarizes all the subjects that we discussed in the entire 11-12 cantos of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. He starts with a beautiful verse. Etat va kathitam vipra Vishnos charitam adbhutam Bhavadbhiryat aham prishto naranam purushochitam. O great sages, I have narrated to you the wonderful pastimes of Lord Vishnu as you inquired them from me. Hearing such narrations is the suitable engagement for a person who is actually a human being. So, this is very important. This is telling the purpose of the human form of life. Because the purpose of the human form of life is really to be able to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. That is the purpose of the soul. That's the purpose why we were created as the soul. And then now that we are in this material world and having a human form of life, it has the highest capacity to raise our consciousness to this highest level. It says, Naranam Purushochitam. The last words of this verse is Naranam Purushochitam, which means men and women who actually come to the standard of human life. They chant the glories of the Supreme Lord. And those who are not, they are uncivilized, they are not interested. Atra sankirtata sakshat sarva papa haro hari narayano rishikesho bhagavan sattvatam Aha. This whole 12th canto, 12th chapter is all the verses need to be memorized. So much glorification of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, just like the second chapter of the first canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. These two glorify Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam so well and very much similar, as we'll see. One verse is repeated from the first canto in the 12th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This literature fully glorifies the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who removes all his devotees' sinful reactions. The Lord is glorified as Narayan, Rishikesha, the Lord of the Sattvatas. Purport actually explains so many ways that Krishna's holy names, it indicates all the different qualities of the Lord. So Hari indicates that Lord removes the sins, har lete hain, which means that he not just removes but steals the sins. Hari, he steals the sins from the heart of the devotee. And then Narayana indicates the Lord sustains the existence of all other living beings. Hari means stealing. Stealing means without the knowledge of the other person. So when we hear the glories of the Lord, without our knowledge, suddenly all our sinful activities are gone. Krishna is like, look there, and we look there, and suddenly all the sinful activities go away. When we hear and chant the glories of the Lord, Hari comes and does like that. Rishikesha indicates that the Lord is the controller of all the senses, and Bhagavan, which means the 6 aspects of Bhagavan, one who is the possessor of all the opulences. Van means one who possesses. Bhaga means opulences. Just like we say Dhanvan. Dhanvan means one who possesses all dhan or wealth. Vidyavan, which means one who possesses vidya. So many different. Dayavan, which means one who possesses compassion, daya. Bhagavan means one who possesses all these opulences. That's Bhagavan. 6 opulences. Aishwaryasya Viryasya Yashashasriya, which means that the 6 opulences, Aishwaryasya Viryasya Yashashasriya, which means all the he's the most opulent, he's the most strong, he has the all beauty, Shriya. Yashasha, he's all famous, he has all knowledge, and he has all renunciation. These are the 6 opulences of the Lord. That's why he's called Bhagavan. And the words then, this verse has Sattvatam Pati, which means he's naturally the master of the Sattvata. Sattvata means saintly people, very pious people, especially the members of the exalted Yadu dynasty. So then Sutta Goswami says, look, what all topics we have actually discussed. These are the topics that are narrated. The process of devotional service, along with its subsidiary feature of renunciation, jnana vairagya astikyam. Jnana and vairagya, knowledge and renunciation, are the subsidiaries of devotional service. And then Sutta Goswami says, didn't we talk about Maharaj Parikshit, about Narad Muni? Do you remember 5th canto, 5th chapter of the 1st canto? Then he says, this Bhagavatam, it describes how we can attain liberation by practicing fixed meditation and yoga. It contains the discussion between Narada and Brahma in the 2nd canto. Then all the incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is described. Then the description of how the universe was created is described in progressive sequence, beginning from Pradhan, the unmanifest stage of material nature. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains on these verses of Sutta Goswami that it will be very, very difficult to give a complete list of all the accounts and topics that are contained in Bhagavatam. So Sutta Goswami is just summarizing what topics we have learned so far. We could not actually consider that the topics, he fails to mention the less important ones, because whether he mentions those or not, every letter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is absolute, just like sugar candy. From wherever you eat, it has the same taste. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, if you leave some topics here and there in the summary, it's still sweet. It's still absolute, because it's the Krishna conscious mind sound vibration. Then Sutta Goswami said, we discussed about Vidura, the discussions that Vidura had with Uddhava, and then Vidura had with Maitreya Muni. Then different inquiries about the subject matter of this Purana. And then we ended up with how the Supreme Lord winds up this creation within his body at the time of annihilation. Then we talked about the 3 modes of material nature, the 7 stages of evolution, the construction of the universal egg, the Brahmanda, and then the universal form of the Lord that comes out of it. Then we talk about the different movements of time. Then the generation of how the lotus generates from the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu. Hiranyaksha is killed and the earth is being delivered from the Garbhodakoshi. Then Bhagavatam describes the creation of the demigods, the animals, the demoniac species of life, the birth of Rudra, Lord Shiva, then the appearance of Swayambhuva Manu from Ishvara, who is the half man, half woman incarnation. Then talks about the first woman, Shatarupa, Swayambhuva Manu and Shatarupa, who is the consort of Manu, and then the offspring of the pious wives of Prajapati Kardama Muni. Then it describes about the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Kapila Dev speaks. Kapila Dev being the son of Kardama Muni to his mother Devahuti. Then it describes the progeny of the 9 great Brahmanas, the destruction of the Daksha sacrifice, history of Dhruva Maharaj. Then describes about the history of King Prithu, King Prachini Barhi. Then the discussion between Prachini Barhishat and Narada about King Puranjana and the life of Maharaj Priyavrata. Then Bhagavatam tells about the character and activities of King Nabhi, Lord Rishabha, and King Bharata. We remember all of those. And then Bhagavatam gives elaborate descriptions of the continents of the earth, the regions in the fifth canto, different oceans, the mountains, rivers that are there. Then, how is the celestial sphere arranged? The conditions that are found in the subterranean regions, conditions that are found in hell. Then we know about the rebirth of Prajapati Daksha as the son of the Prachetas, and then progeny of the daughters of Daksha, who then initiate the races of the devatas, the demigods, demons, human beings, animals, serpents, birds, all of that. All of that is described. Then the births and deaths of Vritrasura, the Diti's sons, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and then the history of the Diti's descendants, Daityas. And we talk about the great exalted soul and devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. Then we talk about the reign of each Manu, how Gajendra is then liberated. What are the different incarnations of Lord Vishnu in each Manvantara? Hayashirsha, all these different are described. Then it tells about the appearance of the Lord as Kurma Avatar, Matsya Avatar, Narsingha Avatar, Vamana Avatar. So many different incarnations are described here. Then the churning of the ocean of milk, so that nectar comes out. And then the great battle that is fought between the demigods and the demons. Systematic description of different kings, the narration of Ikshvaku's birth, the dynasty of Ikshvaku, from where Lord Ramachandra appeared, the dynasty of Sudyumna. All of this is present in this literature. Ila, Tara, sun god, kings such as Shashada and Riga, Kinriga. Then it talks also about the histories of Sukanya, Saryati, Sharyati, Kakutstha, Khatwanga Maharaj, Mandhata, Saubhari Rishi, Sagara. All of these are narrated. How Ganga, Mother Ganga came. Then it describes the sanctified, beautiful, sanctifying pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, who is the king of Koshala. Then he explains how King Nimi, he abandoned his material body. Descendants of King Janaka are also mentioned. Then Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam continues describing how Lord Parshuram, who is the greatest descendant of Bhrigu Muni, he annihilated all the Kshatriyas on the face of the earth. Then it recounts the lives of the glorious kings that appeared in the dynasty of Moon God, Aila, Yayati, Nahusha, Dushmanta's son, Bharata, Shantanu, then Shantanu's son Bhishma, and then the great dynasty which was founded by King Yadu, the Yadu dynasty. The eldest son of Yayati is Yadu. Yayati, who exchanged. Yadu did not exchange. The youngest son of Yayati exchanged the youth. But the eldest son from his first wife was Yadu. That's why the story of Yayati is very important. Then it slowly comes to the 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. It describes how Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and this dynasty of Yayati and Yadu, and then how he took his birth at the home of Vasudeva, then how he grew up in those places, how he grew up in Gokul. All this is described in great detail. Here, he's describing as Shri Krishna. Shri means Radha, and Krishna is Krishna. So Shri Krishna actually means Radha Krishna. So he's describing about Radharani here as well. Then Sutta Goswami says, do you remember we the whole canto was dedicated to Shri Krishna's pastimes. Innumerable pastimes, the enemy of the demons, his childhood pastime of sucking out Putana's life air along with her breast milk, then breaking the cart, trampling down Trinavarta, killing Bakasura, Vatsasura, Aghasura, pastimes that he enacted when Lord Brahma hid his calves, the Brahma Vimohan Leela. And then how he hid cowherd boyfriends in a cave. Then the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam tells how Krishna and Balaram killed Dhenukasura and his companions, how Balaram destroyed Pralambasura, and also how Krishna saved the cowherd boys from the raging forest fire that had encircled them. And as Krishna and Balaram were performing these pastimes, killing the demons, they were also killing the demons within our heart, within our minds, the minds of all the listeners of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Then, Kaliya, the chastisement of the serpent Kaliya, the how Nanda Maharaj was rescued from a great snake, the severe vows that are performed by the young gopis, the Gopi Gita, the Brahmara Gita, the so many different, the Venu Gita, how the gopis satisfied Lord Krishna by performing this Katyayani Vrata. Then the mercy he showed to the wives of the Brahmanas, who felt very much remorseful, these Brahmanas. How Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill, followed by the worship and the bathing ceremony performed by Indra and the Surabhi cow. Then the nocturnal pastimes of Lord Krishna and the cowherd girls. How Shankhachuda was killed, Arishtasura, Keshi demon, all of these were killed after the Rasa Leela was described. Then the Bhagavatam describes how Akrura came. Then subsequently Krishna and Balaram departed, the lamentation of the gopis, the touring of Mathura by Krishna and Balaram. Then how Krishna and Balaram killed Kuvalyapira, that elephant. They killed the wrestlers, Chanura and Mushtika. And then finally Kamsa and all the other demons. How Krishna brought back the dead son of his spiritual master Sandipani Muni. So different, so many different pastimes. Then the scripture Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam describes how the same Lord Hari who was residing in Mathura as Lord Shri Krishna, in the company of Uddhava and Balaram, he performed different pastimes for the satisfaction of the Yadu dynasty. Then how he annihilated so many times the armies brought by Jarasandha, how he killed the king Kalayavana, how Dwarka city was established. Then it describes how Lord Krishna, he brought the Parijata tree from heaven, how he brought the Sudharma assembly hall, how he kidnapped Rukmini, defeating all of his rivals in the battle, how Krishna in the battle with Banasura, he defeated Lord Shiva. He defeated Lord Shiva by making him yawn. How the Lord cut off all the arms, extra arms of Banasura, leaving him with just 4. How he killed the master of Pragjyotishpura, which is none other than Narakasura or Bhaumasura, his own son. And then he rescued the young princesses, 16,100 princesses. Then there is the descriptions of the powers and deaths of the king of Chedi, Paundraka, Shalva, Dantavakra, Shambara, Dvivida, Pita, Mura, Panchajana, other demons. How Varanasi was burnt to the ground. And in between, when Shalva and Dantavakra were killed, Krishna took this opportunity to go from Dwarka to Mathura to Vrindavan and then came back. So Krishna did visit Vrindavan at that time. Then Bhagavatam recounts how Krishna relieved the burden of the earth by engaging the Pandavas in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Then how Lord Krishna, he withdrew his own dynasty on the pretext of the curse of the Brahmana. Then Vasudev's conversation with Narad Muni, different conversations, extraordinary Uddhava Gita, extraordinary conversation between Uddhava and Krishna, which reveals the science of the self in complete detail and tells the religious principles of the human society. How Lord Krishna, he gave up this mortal world by his own mystic power. The Bhagavatam narrates all these events. Then in the 11th canto, it describes different characteristics and behavior of the people of Kali, of different ages, but especially Kali. The chaos that is there in Kali, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. And then the different 4 kinds of annihilation that's described. 3 kinds of creation, so many different things. There is account of passing away of the wise king, the saintly king, Vishnu Rata, and how Srila Vyasadeva, he disseminated all these branches of the Vedas. Then the narration concerning Markandeya Rishi, which we just recently heard. Description, detailed assignment of the Lord's universal form, which is the previous chapter, as the sun, the soul of the universe. And then Sutta Goswami said, so I have explained what you have inquired from me. Whatever were your 6 questions in the beginning, I have answered all of them. And so this literature has glorified in full detail the activities of the Lord's pastime and incarnations. In one sense, he did not actually mention so much about King Maharaj Parikshit's death. But he will mention Maharaj Parikshit little more again. Once he mentioned before, now he'll mention again, but never the leaving of his body. Then comes a very, very wonderful verse, which all of us may have heard the meaning of, being told by our relatives and our friends. But at least I was not aware that this was coming from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Patitas kalithas charta kshutva va vivasho grinan haraye nama ityuchay muchyate sarvapatakat. Listen to this. If when falling, slipping, feeling pain or sneezing, one involuntarily cries out in a loud voice, obeisances to Lord Hari, one will be automatically freed from all of his sinful reactions. This we have heard from so many of our friends and relatives, that whenever you fall, instead of saying, ouch, or oh no, we should say, Krishna, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Gauranga. Jayapataka Maharaj, when he sneezes, he says, Gauranga. And instead of saying so many different cursing, so many different words, let's take the name of Hari. Here, especially, it's saying Haraye Namaha, which means I offer my obeisances. And that's how in the courtyard of Lord Chaitanya, they would sing Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govindaram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. So here he's saying Hari Haraya Namaha, and the same words are used by Sutta Goswami, saying even you slip and fall when you say Haraya Namaha, Hari Haraya Namaha. Then what happens? All the sinful reactions go away. Because when we are falling and slipping and sneezing, we are in a helpless situation. We are looking for help. And if we say Haraya Namaha, or Gauranga, or Krishna Chaitanya, or Krishna Hari, we are reaching out to that to the holy names, taking shelter of the holy names in that spontaneous, helpless situation. And that prepares us to remember Krishna at the time of death and take shelter at the same time. Because if by being hit, by being slipping, if we say, ouch, what are we going to say at the time of death? It's going to be the same thing. Let's practice. And Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam recommends that. That's what Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would also say. That Sri Krishna, that Lord Chaitanya is always loudly chanting the holy names of Lord Hari. Then it describes, Sutta Goswami says, that there are so many innumerable qualities of the Lord. So whichever words glorify those qualities, they are truthful. That's the definition of truth. They are auspicious, they're conducive to piety. The definition of truth is to glorify the Lord. That is the only absolute truth. Everything else is relative. Everything else is a relative truth. Because it says only the words that glorify are truthful, auspicious, and conducive. Others are all impure. How can something impure be truth? Then it talks about how the discussions of the Lord, it gives us ecstasy because it constantly remains new. We don't have to replenish it. But those who are like crows, they become absorbed in the unessential topics that are not related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then comes a verse number 52, which is a repetition of the verse in the first canto, 5th chapter. Tadvag visargo janataghavip samplavo yasmin pratishlokam abadhavatyapi namani anantasya yashonkitani yat Śrīmvanti gayanti grinanti sadhava. It talks about how the different literature of the Lord actually gives, that glorifies Śrīmvanti gayanti grinanti sadhava. This thing that glorifies the Supreme Lord is the absolute truth. This is what is described here. Śrīmvanti gayanti. It's Tadvag visar janatagha samplavo. I believe the verse in the 5th chapter is Tadvag visargo janatagha viplavo. Here it's samplavo, viplavo. It means the same thing. Few different words, but essentially it is the same thing. Then it goes on and on to explain about the different topics of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and what is the glory of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Then it talks about the knowledge of self-realization. Even though people are free from all the material affinity, they do not know what is the real concept of infallible God, infallible personality of Godhead. So this is described there. Then it goes on to describe how the remembrance of Krishna's lotus feet, it destroys everything that is inauspicious, and it gives us great fortune. It purifies our hearts, bestows the devotion to the Lord. And then he says, you all, O great sages of Naimisharanya, you are so fortunate because you have placed Lord Narayan in your heart. He's the supreme controller. He's the ultimate soul. There is no other God. You have so much love for him. You have undeviating love for him because you sat here and you heard Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So I request you, please worship him. And not only you, because of you, I have been reminded, Sutta Goswami says, of the signs of God. The same signs that I had previously heard from the mouth of the great sage Shukadeva Goswami. I was actually present in the assembly of sages who heard him speak to King Parikshit as the monarch sat fasting till death. This is where he mentions Maharaj Parikshit, but does not mention his. Then he says, I have described to you all the glories of Lord Vasudev, and a wonderful verse which explains how, if we describe the glories of the Lord, recite this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam by describing the glories of the Lord every moment, every hour. Even if one faithfully hears one verse or half a verse or one line or half a line, he will certainly purify himself. This is the power of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And then what happens to one who hears this on Ekadashi or Dwadashi? If someone hears Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam on Ekadashi and Dwadashi, he's assured of long life. And if one recites it with careful attention while fasting, he's purified of all sinful reactions. Then, something very important, one who controls his mind, fasts at the holy places, Pushkara, Mathura or Dwarka, and then studies this scripture, will be freed from all fear. So Vrajamandal Parikrama is very important. Navadvip Mandal Parikrama, very important. When we do these parikrama, especially if we are also fasting, not fully fasting, but maybe some kind of fast, then what happens? He'll be freed from all fear. Because in the parikramas, we have to control our mind. We are at the holy places and we fast sometimes. If we fast, some devotees do parikrama just eating fruits. 30 days, just eating fruits and walking 7 hours a day. 7 to 8 hours a day. But still, so they will be freed from all fear. But then sometimes Ekadashi comes, so we fast on Ekadashi even during parikrama. That's fasting. Then he says that if one glorifies this Purana, then the demigods, the sages, the Siddhas, the Pitas, the Manus, and all the kings of the earth, they will bestow all desirable things to them. So that all of us who have recited and heard Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we will be recited. To the extent we heard it with eagerness, we will be bestowed all these different things. Then he says, if a Brahmana studies Bhagavatam, he can enjoy honey, ghee, milk by studying the hymns. Then it says about Brahmana, but it also tells again about if a Brahmana studies, he will achieve firm intelligence in devotional service. If a king studies, he'll gain sovereignty over the earth. If a Vaishya studies, he'll acquire great treasure, and a Shudra studies, he'll be freed from all sinful reactions. So that is the glory of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Whatever is our propensity, it will make us successful in that particular propensity. Hari, Lord Hari, he annihilates all the accumulated sins of Kali Yuga. And then he's saying, I bow down to the Supreme Lord. Even Brahma, Indra, Shankara, Lord Shiva, they bow down to him. They cannot fathom the glories of the Lord. I offer my obeisances to the Supreme Lord. And then he ends by saying, the final verse of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, glorifying his spiritual master, text 69, not of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, final verse of this chapter, 12th chapter. Swasukha nibhrita chetastadvyudastanya bhavo apyajita ruchira lila krishta sarastadiyam vyatanuta kripaya yastatvadipam Puranam tam akhila vrijina ghanam Tamakhila vrijagnam vyasasunum natosmi. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, the son of Vyasadeva, Shukadev Goswami. It is he who defeats all the inauspicious things within the universe. Although in the beginning he was absorbed in the happiness of Brahman realization and was living in a secluded place, giving up all types of consciousness, he became attracted by the pleasing, most melodious pastimes of Lord Krishna. He therefore mercifully spoke the supreme Purana, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the bright light of the absolute truth and which describes the activities of the Lord. This, when we are reading, it's almost like reciting the Guru Vashtakam that we sing in the morning. How he is glorifying his Guru, Guru Maharaj, Shukadev Goswami. Because without offering such respectful obeisances to Shukadev Goswami and all the great acharyas in the line of Shukadev Goswami, one cannot actually gain the privilege to enter into the deep transcendental meaning of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Not just Shukadev Goswami, but any of our Guru Vargas, Srila Prabhupada and the Parampara Acharyas. The point to note is that Sutta Goswami never got officially initiated by Shukadev Goswami. It was not that there was a fire yagya and then they became initiated. The only yagya was Śrīmad-Bhāgavad yagya. By that reciting and hearing of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, that yagya, when it happened, that's when Sutta Goswami got initiated. It is ours is a Shiksha Parampara. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, his Diksha Guru was Bipin Bihari Goswami. But he would consider Jagannath Das Babaji as his Shiksha Guru. And that's why in our Guru Parampara, his name is there as the spiritual master of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Real initiation is when we hear from the person and apply it in our lives submissively. So we should respect our Diksha Guru. Obviously, he has taken the contract, but we should also not forget our Shiksha Gurus, from whom we hear and who are giving us day-to-day guidance. We should remember them gratefully and thank them, glorify them. That will help us grow in our spiritual life. That will make Krishna happy. Just like Sutta Goswami is glorifying his spiritual master, Shukadev Goswami. So with this, we will end today. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. And tomorrow we will continue and with the final chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So please don't miss it. But in the meantime, we have the Zoom call that is arranged. And in this Zoom call, we would like to request all of you to do some reflections and in some way just share your realizations during this journey that we all took together of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatamrita. So if you could share, now we're looking at the screen where the Zoom conference is going on. And thank you all for joining. There are several devotees we see have joined. And those who would like to join the Zoom call, please join there. Otherwise, if you'd like to, on the YouTube chat and Facebook chat, we are also giving the Zoom link. And those who are not able to join Zoom, you can still type your realizations of hearing Bhagavatamrita in the YouTube chat and the Facebook chat, and we would also relay that. We would be doing this session today and tomorrow. So we have about 20-25 minutes for this first session today, where you could share your realizations. We'd like to hear how Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam helped you in your journey. This hearing of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the entire Bhagavatam, whether you have heard a little bit or in its entirety, how you felt, how it helped in your life. This we will discuss in the second part of today and tomorrow. So let's start. If anyone would like to share. So in the Zoom call, if you would like to share, please unmute yourself and try and raise, use a hand raise, or just unmute yourself, and if you can also video, if you can edit it so that we can see you. So please do share with us. So
Hare Krishna, Mataji and Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, really, it's a wonderful experience, and I didn't expect that I could listen Bhagavatam in this my whole life. I have the long desire to listen Bhagavatam and read Bhagavatam, but only I'm reading first canto. Even though I have completed first canto once, but I'm reading once because I couldn't understand anything. But I have a strong desire that I want to listen Bhagavatam, learn Bhagavatam. But my desire was not fulfilled for the past 5 years. But in this lockdown, it fulfilled. I think Krishna has sent you both like that. I feel I'm so happy, and I'm very grateful to you, Mataji and Prabhuji. I don't know what to say, and I didn't expect that this will continue within 5 months. And yesterday I was calculated that Bhagavad Saptaha is 7 days, and it will be 168 hours. But we could complete in 110 hours. Really, it's exciting. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much, Mataji, and really from wholeheartedly, I'm thank you and grateful to you both. Thank you, Mataji.
Meena Mataji, we are so grateful to you. You have been so actively participating in every way. So, today we are getting to see you. We are blessed to see and have your darshan. So we feel very blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So before the second devotee starts speaking, we also would like to request you, like we requested yesterday, if you all would like to share a small, testimonial about your realizations, and that we could share on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. Testimonial video. A testimonial video. So that would be really, really appreciated. So please do send us your video. You can personally send it to us, to either of us who are the admins. So please do send us through WhatsApp. Thank you. So Anju Agarwalji, I see that you want to speak. Please go ahead. Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe.
Hare Krishna, Radhe Radhe. Pranam Mataji, Pranam Prabhuji, Pranam all the devotees, Pranam everyone. I just don't have words to express my gratitude, deep gratitude to Prabhupada and all the Krishna devotees and everyone. It is I just say, the most thing was Krishna mere hain. First it was मैं Krishna की हूँ, Krishna मेरे हैं. By God's grace, I am a Brijvasi, born in Vrindavan. Lot of bhakti at home, but आपने मेरे को कृष्णा से प्यार करना सिखा दिया. I have started getting up at 3:20, which I don't believe. 4:30 I have started doing Mangal Aarti. There is, I will just say, a deep gratitude. And I know he is every Godhead. Krishna to sabse nyara hai, and Radha barsane wali hai. And this is the thing. If you want anything, just pray to Shri Radhe, and Krishna will just give you. I'm singing Radha Kripa Katash. I'm singing Krishna Kripa Katash, Gopi Geet, which is unbelievable. I think so. जब कृष्णा चाहते हैं सब कुछ हो जाता है. वो हमको बस मेरे को अपनी भक्ति दे दे। और आपने जिस तरह से प्यार से इतने पेशेंस से वो सब चीज से हमको बताया है, it is, I just don't, it is priceless. It is just, I can just feel it. It's pure devotion, true devotion. And I will just say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Arpanam Astu. Everything is just Arpanam to him. Nothing belongs to me. Nothing. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Anjuji. Your devotion inspires us. So we thank you for your heartfelt realizations and sharing your realizations with us. Please, if you may record a video also and send us your testimonial, we would be very grateful to you. Thank you so much. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Sure, I will do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jai.
Thank you.
So I see Madhubhashini Mataji. She requested to share next. Madhubhashini Mataji, would you like to turn on your video so we can see you?
It's really a very great experience for us, like not only for me and for my daughter Kirti also. Like she was sitting with me and she was also hearing. And few days we have been hearing, like we are hearing a story or something. But after that, lot of changes has happened within us, and really we had a very nice experience. Like we are waiting when the next day will come, when the 9 o'clock when the Bhagavatam session will start, and all that. I really like have some work, something like he will take them, he will come and sit with me. He says that Prabhuji Mataji has come, you have to listen to him and all that. Really it was wonderful experience. Like I have been reading Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, I mean the 10th canto. But it was really like, I want to hear this again and again, and that too from you both of giving your time very patiently, very tolerant, and like very descriptive in explaining everything. And your question and answer sessions is really very good. And I don't have sometimes.
I think she was having some issues with her internet. She was breaking up. So who would like to go next? We can wait for Madhubhashini Mataji to come back. Hare Krishna.
Internet, like that question and answer sessions and everything was very nice, Mataji. All really, like we had a very nice time. Like like every day, both. Mataji and Prabhuji, so it is not that they were not taking the weekend. I really love you for listening to any sport. You motivated me to more lectures, lecture sessions that are really nice.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Kirti. It was so sweet of you. Thank you, Vita. Thank you so much. So,
thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
All glories to you. Thank you, Kirti.
Yeah, thank you, Kirti.
We love you. Thank you.
Mataji and Prabhuji.
Haribol. Thank you, Vita.
Haribol.
Haribol. Okay, so I see next Shweta Suranaran Mataji. Would you like to share?
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you so much for taking time out and giving this wonderful session to all of us. I should say that I'm not at all qualified to be part of this association. Still, you have showered your mercy and you have shown so much of love and affection throughout the session, explaining each and everything. I was there in this journey till session number 76. But it's after that, due to certain personal constraints of mine, I could not continue with. But I ensure that I'll cope up with the recording sessions and will gain the entire benefit. It's definitely awesome that you both have taken so much of time, effort, initiative, with so much of love and affection that you have prepared all these sessions for us. So I cannot express my gratitude in words. I am highly indebted to both of you. Thank you so much to Keshari Mataji for bringing both of you in my life. I'll treasure this forever throughout my life, Mataji. Highly indebted to both of you. I pray that your journey should go on and should help more conditioned souls like me to try to attempt and understand Bhagavatam, though I'm not qualified to hear it even. It's all your mercy, it's all Guru Kripa that he has bring in both of you in my life. I feel so grateful. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
We really do not deserve your kind words that you are showering upon us, but whatever good you are experiencing is because of your sincerity. It is because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada upon you, the mercy of the devotees upon you, and you are such a sincere soul. So Krishna is personally taking care of you. No doubt about that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji. Hari Bol.
We are grateful to all of you
Hare
to
Krishna.
allow us this opportunity.
Hari Bol. Thank you. So next I see Soumya Mataji wanting to share something.
I see here Janeshwar Gauranga Prabhu has written,
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji.
1 minute, Soumya. We will just read one comment from the YouTube. Give us 1 minute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji and Mataji, Danvat Pranams, Jai Srila Prabhupada. I want to thank you both from the bottom of my heart for enlightening all of us with the Bhagavad Purana. Janeshwar Gauranga Prabhu continues. I plan on hearing all the sessions again if Krishna sanctions. You are both very inspiring to all of us. Your devotion, purity, and true love for Guru and Krishna is all that I can aspire for. Please make this a yearly event. Hari Bol. So that all of us can hear all the nectar again. Thank you again for everything. Thank you. We are very grateful that to all of you that this gave us an opportunity to study Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and share it with you all. This was wonderful. Although we are not qualified, there are so many wonderful speakers of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam who could have explained it in so much better ways. But you all tolerated our descriptions and forgave our shortcomings. We are very, very grateful to all of you.
Hare Krishna. So Soumya Mataji, please, if you would like to share.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji Mataji. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhevya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I'm very happy to hear Bhagavatam from you, Mataji. In this COVID situations, now I am in my parents' home, Mataji. I thought that I will lose Keshari Mataji's association. Maybe I will fall down in Krishna conscious. I was so afraid, Mataji. But due to Krishna's mercy, I got your association, Prabhuji and Mataji. And I can say that the life before Bhagavatam is different, Mataji. After hearing Bhagavatam, I was so purified, Mataji. And still I want to learn so much from you. One day Prabhuji said that now we are going to complete Bhagavatam, means I was almost crying that I'm not able to see parents like you. I feel that you both are like my parents. And if Bhagavatam completes, means I cannot see you both of you again. But due to Prabhuji's mercy and your mercy, you prolonged the program, Mataji. Thank you very much. Keep us to be in your association, Mataji. That is only the wish for me, Mataji. Nothing I want, but keep us telling all these stories like parents and purify us, Mataji. Thank you.
Hari Bol, it's so wonderful to see you again, Soumya. So thank you. I still remember the beautiful ginger chutney you had made for us. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We have a comment from Varshana Chitra Mataji. So we have a comment on YouTube from Varshana Chitra Mataji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji, Koti Dandvat pranams to both of you. Thank you so much for this wonderful narration of Bhagavad Katha. It is really helping me in my spiritual journey. All glories to you, dearest Varshana Chitra Mataji. We are indebted to you for inspiring us to continue this service. So we are so grateful. Thank you so much. So anyone else over Zoom, would you like to share your realizations on how the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam helped you? How listening to, and what parts of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam did you like?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Keshavi.
Hare Krishna Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances unto you, Lotus Feet.
Hare Bol.
Mataji and Prabhuji, you are so awesome because you are very, very, for me, you are very, very pure souls. That's the reason in this lockdown period, you never miss a single session also, and you successfully completed century, like more than 100. And we are not, we are unqualified, we are not regular in the classes. We miss some, but whenever we miss, we used to, listen to the recordings because you are so great that whoever misses, you are giving opportunity by recording them and uploading in YouTube so that we can listen it again, because we are very unqualified and fallen souls because we are not pure, to be regular to the classes. But these Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam classes really so good. Reading anyway, it's reading definitely everyone will read, but we don't understand each and every point. But Mataji and Prabhuji, you have read each and every chapter and very nicely, verse by verse and chapter by chapter, you have explained very nicely. And I used to think that somebody should be there so that they can explain the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. In this Kali Yuga, we don't have a time, and no one is having time to explain us like this. But you and Prabhuji, every single day, you made us attend us every day 6:30, like maybe in US it is evening time, but for us early morning 6:30 hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam from both of you, really it was very.
Oops.
I remember at that time, the whatever pastimes you are sharing, the devotees pastimes and glories of Krishna, I'm trying to remember those things and I'm trying to explain them. Then I felt, whenever I explained, then I felt, oh my God, these Bhagavatam Kadalu are, these Bhagavatam sessions are helping me a lot in my explaining to others also, in my preaching also, it's helping me a lot. And I really thankful thankful on your lotus feet. I fall like a Dandavat Pranam on your lotus feet, both of you. Thank you so much for doing this very nice service for us, preaching, telling the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Thank you, Prabhuji, and thank you, Mataji. Please forgive me if I do anything wrong, if I talk anything wrong. I'm not good in putting words. But thank you so much. Hare Krishna. And the most I liked the chapters. I wanted to listen the 10th canto very nicely from you, both of you. And you have shared Gopi Leela or everything about Srimati Radharani very, very nicely. Really, we enjoyed the pastimes, glorifications of Krishna very, very nicely. That is a very wonderful. I like the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Keshavi, there can be nothing wrong with when you speak. You speak from your heart. Your love speaks. and how, we are so grateful to you that you actually used to post the key points in the YouTube's comments, so that everyone can, if they want to listen to particular points, they can click on and they can go to that point in the video. So we are so grateful. We both, just alone, we can never do anything, because we have a wonderful team of devotees like both of you assisting us, and so many other devotees assisting, that collectively we were able to do this service, because of your assisting us with this service. So we are so grateful to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me the service. And thank you, Divyangi Mataji. She also helped me do this service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Please ask my humble obeisances. Bhuji Dandavat Pranam. Please ask my humble obeisances. First, I would like to express my gratitude for both of you for sweating your blood out to help fallen soul like us to actually hear Bhagavad Katha in its entirety, and helping us to understand the importance of Bhagavatam and how much nectar it is, especially when spoken by you both. And actually, for a Grihastha life that we are all leading here, seeing you both exemplifying, presenting Bhagavatam, and helping us to shape our Grihastha life, we are really indebted to you both, Prabhuji and Mataji. And also, I just wanted to express the fact that the compassion that you both have for each one of us to share this treasure of knowledge in a very, very simple way, very heart-touching way, and especially when you all also had sessions with respect to Gopi Geet and other wonderful pastimes with songs as well, that really made very, very nectarian the presentations of this Bhagavatam. And even though Bhagavatam is in some sections is very philosophical, because I am a person who tried to analyze things, visualize things, to understand the pastimes with respect to Meru Parvat and the creations. Those were some of the difficult aspects of Bhagavatam that I could not understand. But when I started hearing from you all both, it was really, really eye-opening to me to see the greatness of these chapters, for us to see the beauty of Lord's great activities. And also, another important thing I wanted to share was that, with your both of you helping us out each and every way, not just Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, but even in previous classes as well, with other glorifications of Guru Maharaj, and you all are exemplifying as a wonderful ideal disciples of Guru Maharaj and doing a wonderful service to ISKCON. And we as disciples of Guru Maharaj, we want to be in your footsteps, and please engage us in your service. Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your wonderful words. And it shows how you all were so absorbed in hearing and chanting, and we were able to continue, as we are always saying. It's only because of all of your eagerness to hear that made us feel the responsibility to prepare well. And even though we could have done even much better, but still, whatever we were able to prepare and share with all of you, it's all because of your eagerness and absorption. So thank you so much for inspiring us and inspiring the Paramatma within our heart to satisfy all of your desires. Hare Krishna. So I thank you so much, Prabhu. I see that there is Hare Krishna Madali Prabhu who had raised his hand.
Yes.
So we will continue this session tomorrow as well. but we'll hear from Hari Krishna Madali Prabhu today, and then we'll read some of the comments that are given in YouTube, and we'll end after that today. Tomorrow, we would like to hear from more of you and about this. So we'll end by 8:30, and we'll have some more time to hear this glories of Śrīmad Bhagavatam from all of you.
And Anju Agarwalji, yes, you may definitely share, but first let's just hear from Hari Krishna Madali Prabhu, and then yes, you may please share your realization, whatever you have to say, please. Yes, Hari Krishna Madali Prabhu, please go ahead. Hariva.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu Mataji Danvat Pranam Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. I'm so grateful. Initially, I should express my gratitude to Srila Prabhupada, Gauranga, Srila Prabhupada, Gurudev, and all the assembled devotees and Vaishnavas who have consistently encouraged me to be part of this study group, and yourself and Prabhuji as well, who took so much of time and very sincere and to share the nectar, whatever you have done from your Gurudev and other Guru Vargas. I had an initial, I myself as a lead reading or understanding, understanding Bhagavatam is a bigger concept, but at least to read the literature that Srila Prabhupada has put so much of effort for the fallen souls like me. I felt like in my lifetime I may not be able to at least read Bhagavatam. And luckily, when I was Vinita Gandhavika Mataji from Houston, she posted in one of the WhatsApp link, Prabhuji and Mataji, and I immediately joined this group. At that time I joined, it was Canto 6 that was going on. I spent some time to catch up with the previous videos. Good that you have shared or saved those videos in YouTube. I've gone through them, and I especially like the way Prabhuji and Mataji stresses how should we approach Bhagavatam, what should be our move, what should be our bhav when we listen to it, when we remember Krishna, when we remember the different exalted devotees or personalities in Bhagavatam. What should be our mood? What should we learn from them? So that is very important. But one of my drawback is that I have a bad habit of forgetting things. Unless I revise and keep remembering things, I usually forget things so quickly. So I think I have to re-listen these lectures which are saved and try to inculcate and apply those in my daily activities. And I pray that I need all of your blessings that I physically apply those instructions so that I live up to the expectations of Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Vargas. I don't know how to express. The words are very short for me to express my gratitude. But I was lucky enough by the mercy of Krishna, Gauranga and Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, and other Guru Vargas and other Vaishnavas whom I have got an opportunity to associate with, just because of all their nectar. And I always listen from senior devotees that Bhagavatam is sound incarnation of Krishna. And with all their mercy, you have helped me to listen to that nectar, and also please bless me that I apply these to my daily life, and I also cultivate my family in the way that Srila Prabhupada wants us to live. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hari Bol. We really appreciate, Prabhuji, that you, in spite of traveling and so much of ups downs, you have been very, very consistent in your participation in the quizzes and every other sessions. You've been very, very consistent. So your consistency, your enthusiasm inspired us. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Anjuji, give us 1 minute. We'll just read a few comments from the YouTube, and then we'll come back to you to listen to your comments. Just
So
give us a minute.
Sudesh Krishnamurti Prabhu says, thank you Prabhuji Mataji for giving us Bhagavatam class. We could not have read the nectar, but for your efforts and Guru's grace, we are all very grateful. Prema Bhakti Lata Mataji says,
Dandavats Prabhu and Mataji, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is like a medicine for the beginners and tonic for the seniors in Krishna consciousness. I feel it's like every morning dosage. In the beginning, I was keen in logging on weekends. As well, not realizing that it was only on weekdays. Amazing experience hearing Śrīmad Bhagavatam every day. My sincere thanks and pranams to you both. I never thought that we can hear the entire Śrīmad Bhagavatam in just 5 months. Please bless. Where did it go? Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Please bless us that we can get a taste to read and hear Śrīmad Bhagavatam again and again. More. I would like to hear all the sessions again, seeking for your prayers and blessings. For the same, we could visualize your compassion and mercy upon the conditioned souls like sincere pranams. All glories to you, Mataji. Your sincerity inspires us. So thank you. Thank you so much. This is a comment from Shweta Manjari Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear Mataji and Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you very much for the wonderful nectarian journey of Śrīmad Bhagavatam. With both of you, all glories to your seva. May you both always enlighten us. In this spiritual path, you both make each morning of mine wonderful, so as the rest of the day. And we are so grateful to both of you and proud of both of you to have Shiksha Gurus like you. Thank you so much. Please forgive me. I missed 8 to 10 sessions overall, and I can feel the difference when I miss. Well, you didn't miss anything, Manjari. You can always go back and listen to them again. So you have not missed out on anything, and we thank you so much for your sincerity and your efforts. Thank you so much.
We have Reena Kamath Mataji. So grateful to both of you. I have started chanting 16 rounds of Hare Krishna
Hari
Mahamantra. Hari
Bol.
Bol. My husband started observing auspicious Ekadashi, all because of Bhagavatam hearing only.
Hari Bol.
Wonderful narrations. We've heard from pure devoted Vaishnavas like you. Really blessed to hear from you. All glories to Krishna and Vaishnavas. Very, very grateful. Hare Krishna. No more words to explain. Was just marvelous.
This is amazing. I mean, somehow or the other, if your chanting has improved, your devotional service, if you feel that, we have helped, so somehow Krishna will look at us. Thank you.
And then Prema Bhakti Lata Mataji ends by saying our sincere thanks to Divyangi Mataji for introducing me to this wonderful sessions. Our sincere thanks to Divyangi Mataji and Prem Vikas Prabhu for helping us in the technical things and also helping us plan these sessions out. They are a good bouncing board, so to say, of ideas. They share such ideas and give direction to certain ideas. Thank you so much to both of
Divyangi
them.
Lalita Mataji and Prem Vikas Prabhu have really been our support system. So we really thank both of you for that. And the team, this entire team consisting of Divyangi Lalita Mataji, Prem Vikas Prabhu, Ananga Mohini Gopika Mataji, and of Keshavi Mataji and Venkatapati Prabhu. So we thank each and every one of you for helping us serve together in this glorious mission of Srila Prabhupada. And we hope that we continue to serve together. So thank you all so much. Anjuji, you had a comment to make finally?
Hare Krishna. When we get, I think so, such beautiful things from you, pure Mataji and Prabhuji, narrating all the glories so beautifully, and we become, we say now, to hear more glory things of Krishna, the pastimes. I would really like to learn Gopi Geet from you. Really, I just want to be Gopi of Krishna. It's my thing in my life, and I would love to, if you can just do Gopi Geet after, whenever you have time, whatever time you can do it. sincere request. I'm just remembering that shloka from thing. Tad vidhi paripatin paripreshen sevaya upadeshtite jnanam jnanastat darshanam. Like you have just changed my life 360 degrees. So I'm really requesting if you can do it for us.
Your request is our command. Your wish is our command. So we will definitely, because you are giving us an opportunity to speak about Gopi Geet that is extremely dear to both of us. So we would love to do it. And many devotees have requested us to do it in Hindi. So if you want, we can do it in Hindi.
Yes, in Hindi, ब्रज भाषा सब कुछ आता है, हिंदी बोलते हैं, बहुत अच्छी ब्रज भाषा बोलते हैं, बहुत आप प्यार से इतना सिखाते हो कि हम लाइक ऐसा लगता है कृष्ण हमारे सामने है. I close my eyes जब आप हमारी स्टोरी सुनाते हैं और लगता है कृष्ण like when you say Yashoda and especially Krishna's pastimes, they are just live in front of me. So any language will do. Hindi, English, Bengali, anything.
Definitely. We will definitely do it. And we will dive to the nectar of Gopi Geet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Jai Shri Radhe, Radhe Radhe.
In one sense, it is a bit embarrassing for us to hear, glorifications about us. We should close our ears, but we accept it and we are offering it to our Guru Vargas and to Srila Prabhupada because they are the ones who actually deserve it. We are only repeating, we are still learning from all of you, from them. So all of these glories actually belong to Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Vargas.
So we have another Hema Swaminathan Mataji. Hare Krishna, our namaskarams to Prabhuji and Mataji. Immensely grateful that I could listen to the entire session of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavad Katha narrated beautifully by you. Our mornings were made divine. Haribo. Thank you, Hema Mataji. Thank you so much for that beautiful comment.
Prema Bhakti Lata Mataji says, I was worried that it's coming to an end, but it's very nice that you're coming up with various programs. Thanks for your continuous association. Yes, we also would like to have more and more of your association and continuous association. And that's why we thought we should continue with more and more programs so that we can get more of all of your association as well.
So now after this Bhagavatam, we will dive into Gita, Bhagavad Gita. And then right after that, we will come to Purushottam Mas. So this Purushottam Adhika Mas, please stay tuned for the calendar that we are going to be sending out sometime next week, where you can book your slots, where we will come to your home personally for home visits. We can come to your home and we can do beautiful program, beautiful katha, just for you and your friends who you invite virtually over, through the Zoom. So we'll have more discussions on that. And we will also be doing Vrajamandal Parikrama, virtual Vrajamandal Parikrama, virtual Giriraj Parikrama. We will be having so much nectar that is coming, our way during this Purushottam month, Kartik month. So please stay tuned for all this beautiful parikramas, beautiful kathas, that we can all just nicely immerse ourselves into these beautiful kathas. So thank you, Prema Bhakti Mataji.
And we'll continue this feedback session and the reflections session tomorrow after the final chapter of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Till then, thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
And Narsimha Gaure Hari Prabhu, we would definitely love to hear from you. And from those whom we did not hear today, we want to hear from you tomorrow about, especially, please share about what special parts of the Bhagavatam which you loved. We love to hear that.
Yes.
That what really inspired you in the Bhagavatam, which parts inspired you, how they helped you, like how Reena Mataji shared. So wonderful to see such beautiful changes. So we would love to hear those things. So please do record some testimonials and send it to us. We'll be looking forward to your testimonial videos. Thank you all so very much. All glories to all of you. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki
Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, ISKCON Vartaman Guru Vrinda ki Jai, Janitai Gaur Sita Premanande